Thank you for agreeing to meet with me on such short notice. The grimoire's in the study. You can come in. I didn't program the tower to devour you if you set foot inside it again. I only said I'd do that in a fit of temper. In fact, I think the hearth crystal's still set to recognize your soul signature. The doors and other enchanted items should respond to your presence still. Don't smirk. I simply never got around to erasing you. Now, come in. I guess Rasputin missed you. Traitor. You may as well carry him in with us. He's due for his medicine soon anyway. You'll have to forgive me. I was a little too busy with crucially important matters to tidy up. I might be further along if this business with the grimoire hadn't put a halt to my progress. I can't believe I allowed you to convince me to lock myself out of my own spell book. Knew it was a foolish idea the moment I relented to your nagging. All right, fine. I did ask you once to lock me out of the book. Once. It was only because I was concerned about my sleepwalking. Didn't want to risk damaging the pages. I didn't ask you to mollycoddle me. Well, obviously you're remembering our conversation rather differently. I trusted you with the book, yes. I did not consent to you limiting my time with it to the extent that you did. And that only started after your puling. Oh, Marlowe, I can't stand to watch you lose your mind. Let me keep it for you. I would have said anything to shut you up. I am a 10th level Celestial Navigator and a Planewalker. You're a fool if you think I'm going to put my life's purpose on hold just because one of my spell books gives me a few sleepless nights. Rasputin. Gods damn it. Now he'll be under the sofa. We'll never get him out. See what you've done? Now both the cat and the tower are upset. Hargreaves, would you cease that blasted quaking? Fine, you pedantic pile of bricks. What we've done. Stop rumbling before you damage your windows again. He's fine. There's a cracked window or two in the loft and some damage to the roof. I haven't had time to repair any of it, especially not with my assistants constantly abandoning me. Yes, I'm between assistants at present. The ones who weren't incompetent idiots had trouble adjusting to everyday life. They were either too leery of Hargreaves or Rasputin took issue with them. One of them barged into my chambers while I was in the middle of a spell and fainted dead away when they saw me bathing in ichor. Oh, who told you that? Have you been listening to Laney gossiping at that dump of a tavern? While my last hire was very irritating, no, I didn't maul her. I told you. Rasputin disliked her. He's a cat made of haunted bones. If she couldn't figure out a way to fend him off, then she wasn't meant to work here. Anyway, I paid her for the day's labors and healed her face before I dismissed her. The wounds were shallow, they shouldn't scar. What, does it please you to hear that replacing you has been difficult? Really? Well, it would please me, or our positions reversed. Next you'll say you've missed me. I was wondering when you were going to ask that. I don't know when I last slept, but it doesn't matter. It's a poor wizard who can't push through the fatigue and carry on. Lord Eyebags. Honestly, never thought I'd hear you call me that again. I'll rest when time allows for it. Your concern is touching, but that's the beauty of separation, my dear. I can look as exhausted and corpse-like as I please. There's nothing you can do about it. And before you ask, I ate some perfectly serviceable bread and butter only this morning. Oh, that was like yesterday. Anyway, the point is, I'm in no danger of wasting away. Now, if you're finished interrogating me, I would deeply appreciate it if you could unlock my grimoire. You have my word that I will eat something and find time to rest after that's done. I don't know, at some point. Just not now. Later. I've wasted so much time already. No. No? No. You're just saying no to me. To me. Oh, in fact, yes, you holding my book hostage does remind me of old times, yes. It reminds me of what an insufferable mother hen you were. Not a nostalgic feeling. Hargreaves, no, don't you dare grant their request. Don't you fucking... Oh. You know I hate it when you use the tower's magic for frivolous purposes. And he's no longer yours to order around anyway. Tea and biscuits. Really, what am I, a child? Damn cat. Always turns taking his medicine into such an ordeal, no matter how many frog hearts I offer him. It's not for anything serious. Just your standard potion of renewal to keep the spell on his bones from waning. I tried putting it in his food, but he turned his nose up at it. It's worth the trouble to see him spry. Has it really only been 6 months since you left? It feels like an eternity. This tea doesn't taste familiar. Singing Lotus. I swear I've heard that name somewhere before. Come here. There's something I have to ask you. Tell me you haven't conspired against me with my own fucking tower to feed me calming tea meant for fussy infants. Again. Oh, you... you menace. Fine. Wake me up in an hour. No longer. I'm on the sofa. When did I... Hello there, old man. You're looking much improved. Thank you for giving Rasputin his medicine. Oh. You tidied up the study. You didn't have to do that. Although I must admit, it is a relief to be able to see the top of my desk again. You're lucky you know where everything's supposed to go. I'd incinerate anyone else who dared touch my notes. Off he goes. I suppose he has business to take care of, now that he's no longer in danger of collapsing. I think I know exactly how he feels. I trust you've finally done what I asked you to. Gods, no. I refuse. No more questions, no more of your disruptions. Just, look, press your right thumb against the indentation on the grimoire's cover and let me return to my work. If I could overwrite the enchantment, don't you think I would have done that instead of invite you round here? What are you... Stop that, let go of my glove. God damn it. I really would have liked for you to do me this one simple favor without having to explain this. What am I talking about? You would have found me out somehow. You always do. I sacrificed my hand to an elder abomination. I won't utter its name here. The crystal prosthetic I have instead conducts magic wonderfully, but it lacks fingerprints. Otherwise, I would have found my own way to open my book and spared us both this entire wretched encounter. Yes, it hurt, but it was worth it. Why are you looking at me like that? You've seen my bloodletting scars. It's only a matter of time before the Elder Ones demand a hand or an eye or more. It's practically a rite of passage. And why not? I've more stardust than blood in my veins these days. What's the harm in giving a little more of myself when it grants me glimpses into another universe? I've told you and I've told you, if I'm going to find the answers I seek, I must be willing to give up what is very dear to me. I have to. No matter what agony it causes me, whether you're here or not. Obviously, I'd prefer that you were. Yes. Everything in me is screaming yes. Don't be ridiculous. Every time I spare you a kind word, you counter it with how mundane and unremarkable you are, just because you lack inborn magic of your own. You still don't believe me? You're really going to make me say it, aren't you? You exasperating creature. You know damn well that innate magical ability has nothing to do with the strength of your research, your insight, or your instincts. And yours are exceptional. All the would-be assistants who applied were adept at some form of magic, did you know? And every single one of them were complete disappointments. You're brilliant exactly as you are. It's a marvel we even met in this timeline, on this plane of existence. I've never had a research partner whose thoughts tangled so perfectly with mine. The only disadvantage or restriction creates is that you cannot feel what draws me to go to such lengths for my work. I can describe my reasons until the stars burn out, but you still can't see. But if there's one thing I've realized, it's that I need someone like that. I can't abandon my work. I can't. Perhaps if I were younger or stronger, but not now. Not as I am. I've given too much of myself up already. You can't always see my purpose, but you know when it blinds me, and you keep me from burning up completely. And it's more than just my work. I am not well alone. I know that now. You've seen me. My crumbling tower. My aging cat. I remember nights when you'd find me in my study, semi-conscious and speechless with despair at discovering some new failure or horror, and you wouldn't say a word. You would just take my hands in yours, pull me to my feet, and drag me to bed. Somehow that was the only thing that could make me leave my desk. I might be sitting there still were it not for you. And in that same unspoken, unasked-for manner, you'd bring me meals and revitalizing potions, even though such kindnesses were not among your duties as my research assistant. I made my resentment clear, and you'd just stand there, enjoying yourself while you badgered me with taunts and threats until I finally ate, just to make you leave me be. For all I bristled and protested and accused you of smothering me, I adored you for it. More than words can say. I still do. I'm just rubbish at expressing it. My work is better. My results are better. Everything is better. With you. And I'm so sorry I didn't see it before. I wouldn't blame you if you said no to trying again, but... I was hoping that would be your answer.